Hello everyone and welcome back. Every now and then I see aggro towards Age of Sigmar, but I don't think that's very fair, especially when there's a bunch of Chaos Minis that are ripe for the taking. Yep, Age of Sigmar serves as a way for me to enhance my roster for Chaos. This one specifically, a cool Chaos Sorcerer, available in their normal range, and the perfect Undivided Sorcerer. So, I've built him up, primed him in White Scar, and we're going to get him done. The idea here is about an hour, more or less, for this model, but hey, there's no rush. I just want something because I want to work on some Undivided units because I keep ignoring them. So, the first thing that we're going to do is give it a Preshade, because I like to do that every time I've got a White Scar mini up and running. I'm going to hit him with Agrax Earthsade all over the model, and I will say one thing, I do regret not doing some sub-assembly prior, as getting under the cape is always a bit of a problem, same thing as the robes. Good thing, however, is I did glue him onto the base because he does have that scenic rock with super glue just so I could snap him off and I could paint under. This is always something that you'll want to do with robes, or else you're going to have white spots and they're going to be very, very noticeable. The model's dry, so we're going to start hitting it with contrast paints. The first one being Aggaros Dunes. This is one I haven't used a lot before, but a lot of people did say that it was pretty decent when it comes to robes, and I wanted to give it a try because I want to experiment with different paints that I'm not really used to, going out of my comfort zone as I'm slowly building up my paint collection once again. So this is just for the robes down there, not for the cape. The cape is going to be a different color. I'm going to try go very colorful with these models. The idea here is just to try something a little bit different, but still keeping it a very undivided sense. Contrast paints being the main paint here. I must admit this paint wasn't too bad, and I'm going to be using it a fair bit as time progresses. Don't worry about the splodgy colour on the robes, it's going to feel a lot better as the shades come in. Now, Cygor brown, a very lovely dark brown for the cape. I feel like that fits really nicely just to kind of pop off the Aggaros dunes. So it's going to be quite an easy hit there. Again, you have to get back into the cape. This is where I should have done sub-assemblings, but the problem is that the fur on the front is also what you need to attach to the model, so it does become a little problematic. This is why I decided I'm going to go for a full whack rather than just going bit by bit. It's important to take your time with paints such as Cygor brown. I've said this in previous videos, very high pigmentation can lead to stainage, which you don't want because it can go into other locations which you're going to have to try and fix up. You can fix it with, say, just a bit of white paint and then going over it, but you might get a bit of a problem if it's going to be a large enough zone. Gore Grunta Fur up next, and this is where the fun happens, because obviously there's a lot of fur up top, a lot of Warriors of Chaos like wearing fur. Very good for that. Now this is where you're going to start to see something different in the videos. I'm going to start having very stained hands, because as I put the paint down, it decided to explode, and yeah, that's not fun. This is a common issue with Games Workshop paints. They're now called Warhammer paints, and it's absolutely frustrating. I should have put it back in the paint stand, but I put it to the side. Yeah, not proud of it, but stained hands for the rest of the video. It's just going to be that way. Either way, it's still good paint. I use it for fur all the time, especially on my horses. Just because I had a bad experience with it, which was mostly my fault, doesn't mean that I'm not going to use it again. Black Templar up next, and I've decided to use that on the armor. Same thing with the helmet, so the chest piece. The idea here is just to get a little bit of undivided look. I know a lot of people use Leadbelcher and then heavy wash it, but I feel it doesn't give that black look, which you kind of want from Undivided Chaos Warriors. Again, I could be wrong, but I figured contrast paint works well here, and it is fantastic. It already brings the model quite in. Again, with this model, you're going to have to get in there. It's a bit of a problem, but it's always the case when it comes to Chaos Minis. They've got so much going on, especially with the cape. The black can be a problem too, because it can stain, but overall, very easy to do because the panels are very, very large. I did have a few mistakes where I had to fix up with a little bit of white paint and then just shade over it, but these things happen. We're all human after all, and mistakes do happen. Either way, just with the paints added so far, the model's starting to look pretty good. At least for a battle-ready standard, which is what I like to go for. I don't like to make my minis look perfect. I like them to be dirty. I like them to look like they're about to join the fray, or they've just come out of a skirmish, because I feel like that's more realistic, especially out of a Chaos Warrior. unless it's going to be one of those really important named characters. Blood Angel's red next, and that's going to go on the shaft of the staff. The idea here is a little bit of color, because black armor can take away from the model unless you've got extra bits coming in just to make it a little bit more vibrant. It's a fantastic color as it stands. I don't think there's any problems, and yes, I know I've been using that a lot for a lot of videos. Look, I just really like the color, but there's going to be others after this with different colors, don't you worry. I've got Demonettes on the way, and also a pretty extensive kit bash. At the time of recording this video, I'm just waiting for the green stuff to dry up. Honestly, I've been kind of pushing towards Chaos a lot lately, and that's because I've got plans to finish up my Chaos Warriors after my Kefans are done, and I'm going to need 5 armies, 1 for each type of worship. Once that piece is drying, I'm going to hit it with Basilicanum Grey on the Tactical Rock. Now, I will say one thing. I don't understand Basilicanum Grey. I can't get a good color out of it. No matter what I do, even if I don't do a Preshade, it always seems very thin. So if anyone's got any experience with this paint and knows what I'm doing wrong, yeah, I'm more than happy to take any messages there, because I'm trying my best. I just really can't get a good gray tone. And I've checked other people's videos. I can't seem to find a good video with Basilicanum Grey. Maybe this paint is doomed. Retributor armor coming in for the golds, pretty much on the staff and a few accents, but the idea here is just to give it a little bit more pop of color. Again, slowly but surely. I do wish that my camera was a little bit better. I'm going to have to, well, when I can afford it, upgrade my camera so it looks a little bit better here. It's just a slow grow. This is a brand new channel, and obviously I want to see what I'm doing slowly but surely. I think the channel's improving. I think it's just a few videos in. But yeah, gold on the staff I think works very, very nicely, just to have a little bit of extra color there. And Retributor armor is just a fantastic gold. I cannot fault it. A lot of people say that there's better golds out there, but I've yet to find one. Especially once you hit it with Agrax, it just looks really, really nice. If you want something more earthy, or with Null afterwards, if you want something more dirty, it is so incredibly versatile. Snakebite leather for the leather bits, so there's some belts, there's also the book binding. It's just enough to get it to really show off, but not to be overbearing. There's going to be some gold afterwards just to go on to the book again. But slowly but surely, you can see that the model's coming together. At least I hope it's showing that way. I'm going to say this is a really enjoyable model, and I'm likely going to be painting up a few more, because you've got the different head tones, some different staff options. So I feel like the next one could be like a Sorcerer Lord. This is just a generic level 2 that I needed for an army. And yeah, it's a bit larger than your conventional Chaos Sorcerers, or most things for the old world. But keep in mind that every time that we get something new, the scale kind of goes up. So I think it works. Maybe if it didn't have the tactical rock, it would look a little bit better, but I kind of like the rock for once. Skeletal Horde on the bones, there's a few horns, skulls on the staff, and I'm going to use that also on the pages, just to kind of get like a worn book feel. It's not going to be a lot. It's between wanting to kind of keep things uniform and also not really having that many different types of paints. But I do feel like Skeletal Horde, when you're trying to do parchment and stuff, works very, very well. The model's practically done now. There's only just a little bit more work to go. Yeah, I think it was around an hour. If I look through my timestamps, it's around an hour with a small break, which I needed to go out to get some shopping done. I like these models because they're a bit more relaxed. There's not a lot of work needed for it. One of the things that I didn't like about the new Norscan Marauders, for example, is there's a lot more work to them compared to the old ones. I like the old stuff. I'm an old person at heart. And to be honest, at body too, so yeah. Leadbelcher now for the sword and a few accents that do require a little bit of metal. This is just to kind of break out the mini a little bit more. Again, the black is going to be very overbearing, so you do want a little bit of just extra color. Leadbelcher does very well. You could have that on the panels too, or go for an even darker metal like gunmetal, but I prefer using Citadel paints, or well, Warhammer paints now as they're going to be called, just purely because they're easy to come by, and I know multiple shops near me that I can go pick up Citadel paints without a problem. Not saying other paint brands are bad, I'm just very used to Citadel. Okay, it's that time again. Liquid Talon time. Null Oil all over the body. I don't always do this, by the way. There are certain other models which I haven't. It's just to bring it down all over. I think it works out quite well. I was going to do with a little bit of Null and a little bit of Agrax, but it doesn't fit here as it does with say, for example, my Slaanesh units, which you're going to see a Slaanesh video at some point very, very soon. I find Null Oil to be incredibly reliable, so I don't have to worry too much. Once again, when you do these shades, make sure that you're not really hitting it too much into certain areas. Make sure that it's not pooling too much, or else you're going to get results that you don't really like. But with this, the model's practically done, barring just going in and fixing some stuff up, or hitting it again with some Aggaros dunes in some location that you need to hit it. But yeah, it's pretty much battle ready now, and this is what I like to go for. Again, battle ready standards I think are the best way to go. 3 color minimum, way past. I've already hit like 7 different colors, and it's quick too. The great thing about contrast paints or speed paints in general, these are a fantastic way to get your armies on the field and get rid of that pile of shame. I don't know, some people call it pile opportunity, but no, it's shame. Shame. I would get a bell or something, but I don't have one. Just imagine me with a bell. Now you think I'd be done, but I'm not. One final paint. Tesseract Glow, a technical that I bought for one project, and, well, I'm sorry, but if I don't use it, it's just going to go to waste. So I'm putting it on the blade just to give it a little bit of an enchanted feel. I feel like that is going to help out a little bit. Kind of like he's mid-cast through the blade. Not like I'm going to be using it for much. I mean, let's be honest here. There's like one spell that you're going to use with the Chaos Law, and that's it. Magic has gotten weird since they kind of changed it halfway through the edition, but I feel like it fits quite well. And here's the model. A little bit of shaky cam because my cats were actually attacking my feet, but I'm pretty happy with this. For a basic Chaos Sorcerer, like a level 1 or level 2 wizard, he's there, he's ready to jump in. Obviously mudded up the base, given it a little bit of snow in areas, because the Northmen are going to be fighting in Norska and the rest. So I'm pretty happy. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Let's start a bit of a discussion. I'll see you all again very soon. The next video is practically done. So yeah, bye.